What detail during an autopsy made you realize the victim's grieving widow was actually their murderer? After 18 years as a medical examiner, I've signed thousands of death certificates. Most cases are straightforward. Heart attack, overdose, car accident. You learn to spot the patterns, trust the evidence, move on to the next body. But I've also learned that insurance companies hate paying out life policies. They'll push, they'll pressure, they'll remind you that suicide clauses exist for a reason. The Petrov case was exactly that kind of pressure. Wealthy businessman, gunshot wound, typed suicide note, gun in hand, door locked from inside. The insurance adjusters were practically writing my report for me. Open and shut, the lead detective said. Let's close this one quick. I had the death certificate pulled up on my screen. Manner of death, suicide. My cursor hovered over the signature field. Then I looked at the crime scene photos one more time. I clicked through the crime scene photos one more time, not really sure what I was looking for. Armen Petrov in his office chair. Blood spatter consistent with contact wound. Glock 19 in his hand. Door locked from the inside. His wife had to get a neighbor to help break it down. The suicide note was still on his computer screen. I read it again. I can't do this anymore. The business is failing. I've let everyone down. I'm sorry. Straightforward, clear, grammatically perfect. Too perfect, maybe? I pulled up the detective's report and found the section about Petrov's emails. The detective had reviewed his correspondence looking for signs of suicidal ideation. I skimmed through the examples. Every single one had typos. Can't make the meeting. We'll send you the numbers tomorrow. Revenue doesn't look good. This guy couldn't spell, couldn't punctuate, but he wrote a flawless suicide note. I zoomed in on the crime scene photo again. Something about the gun placement. It was in his left hand. I checked my autopsy notes. Wedding ring on left hand, watch on left wrist, right-handed. Why would a right-handed man shoot himself with his left hand? I pulled his medical records, looking for anything that might explain it. Medications that could cause confusion. Psychiatric history. Nothing like that. But there was a surgical record. 3 months ago. Left shoulder. Rotator cuff repair. I opened the file. Severe tear. The orthopedic surgeon's notes indicated significant damage. I found the physical therapy records. 6 weeks post-op. Patient cannot raise left arm above shoulder height. 8 weeks. Strength improving but limited range of motion. 10 weeks. Still cannot lift arm above waist without significant pain. 12 weeks. 2 weeks before his death. Continuing therapy. Limited overhead movement. I sat back. He couldn't lift his left arm above his waist, but the gun was in his left hand, against his head. I picked up the phone and called Detective Bardot. The wife's bathrobe, I said. The one from the scene. I need you to test it for gunshot residue. Bardot arrested Catherine Petrov the next morning. The GSR test on her bathrobe came back positive. High concentration, consistent with firing a weapon, not just touching one. I was in my office when Bardot called. She's asking to talk to you, he said. The medical examiner? I met her in the interview room, her lawyer present. She looked different than the grieving widow from the crime scene photos. Harder. You figured it out, she said. It wasn't a question. The shoulder injury, I said. He couldn't have lifted that arm to shoot himself. She laughed, bitter. I didn't know about the surgery. He never told me. We barely spoke the last 6 months. Why did you do it? She leaned forward. Armen was leaving me. 20 years of marriage. I helped build that business, and he was going to take it all and start over with someone else. The prenup gave me almost nothing, but the life insurance was $2 million. It had a suicide clause, I said. No payout for suicide. Exactly, she said. I knew that. I made sure it looked just wrong enough. The note too perfect. The door locked, but the key inside where it could be found. I wanted the kids to get the insurance money because then I could contest the will. Accidental death or murder, the estate rules are different. But suicide, the kids get nothing, and I get whatever the prenup says, which is basically nothing. So you shot your husband and staged it as a failed suicide attempt? I staged it as a murder that looked like suicide, she said. So the insurance would pay his kids, and I could fight for the estate. What I didn't plan on was a medical examiner who actually gave a damn. Most would have just signed off. She was convicted of first-degree murder. The insurance paid Armen's children $2 million. Catherine got nothing, just like she feared.